thought we finished the game really strong on top as the away team as well. Probably shaded it, to be honest. I thought they lacked ideas setting off, didn't create too many opportunities themselves. So obviously the boys are going to be disappointed getting back on the coach, but from our point of view, yes, it's a clean sheet, it's another point on the board, and we're as we were really.
You know, before the ball was kicked, if someone said it was going to be a clean sheet and a point away at Burnley, you probably would have taken it. But when you have those two opportunities so late in the game, I mean, I can't recall Sunderland ever missing 2 penalties in a game.
No, again, we've just seen Rob on the way out. We'll have to tap into him and see when that happened, especially the same taker as well, really, wasn't it? So, listen, he's not going to sleep well tonight. You can see Wilson at the end there. Lads were getting around him. He's going to be devastated, but got to pick himself up and get ready to go again. Another quick turnaround on Tuesday night.
It's such a similar circumstance, though, to the Sheffield United game, in that we've missed a big penalty at a big ground and it's cost us points at the top end of the division. What did you make of Burnley overall this evening?
Well, we've seen that 180 minutes include the game here. Early in the season, they could argue the fact that they were having a bit of a transition in terms of players turning over. Players were still going out the door. We won that 1-0. Should have been more, really. Romain scored, didn't he, that day. Today, I thought both teams had a little bit of a spell. It lacked quality of the game. It was a little bit edgy at times. If you're looking at opportunities, Wilson's had 2 good opportunities in open play. Obviously, the penalties. And they've had one at the start of the second half and a couple early on in the game. So I think on chances we've probably shaded it over the course of the 90 minutes if you include the penalties. General play, it felt 50-50. As I said, both teams were a little bit loose in possession at times. And the game wasn't really played at a sort of a tempo really until later on, last 10-15 minutes.
Yeah, and we've seen everyone around us obviously in the division. Leeds and Sheffield United seem to have a little bit extra on Burnley, don't they?
I think so, yeah. Yes, we beat Sheffield United, but they finished the game really strong, pushed on. They give you opportunities on the counter-attack, as we've seen that evening. The full-backs get high and they allow the centre-backs to defend 2-on-2, really. But looking at them, you can see why they've had the amount of clean sheets they've had, and they don't concede many goals because they're all organised well behind the ball. They did mess around with it a little bit in the first half in their own third and almost got caught out a couple of times. But I just thought they lacked. Anthony looked quite bright at times, but other than that, I thought Fleming was quiet. Lyle Foster came into the side. I thought he was really quiet, really didn't get into the game. Sarmiento came on, didn't really have an impact on the game. And then they ticked it over in the middle of the park. So I think they're okay watching them. They're organised, as I say, there. But from their point of view and their fans, they'll want to see a little bit more creativity going forward.
Let's have a look at the game then, if we can, and see the key moments in the game and see, obviously, where something went wrong this evening. But you know, they more than held their own against a side who've just been relegated from the Premier League. We beat them earlier this season and we were more than a match for them tonight as well.
Yeah, and early on, I think first 10-15 minutes you agree, they were actually quite bright early on, Burnley. Those Diags really, a couple in behind Dennis Erkin caused us a couple of problems. Say Trey was a little bit loose in possession and they had a couple of good opportunities. Foster that one to the side netting and Connor Roberts there. That one drops down to him. You know, if he shanks that one, it probably flies in, but he caught it flush straight at Anthony Patterson. And moments like this really where we were getting caught, we were getting dragged around the pitch, and it's a good save from Anthony Patterson. He hasn't had too many to make this evening, let's be honest, as the away goalkeeper, generally comfortable in the second half. Fleming had that big chance a minute or so after the break where he sliced wide, didn't he? But it took us, as I said, 15 minutes or so to get going, to have any sort of possession really, and then Wilson really got us going with that opportunity, didn't he, with the volley, which we'll have a look at in a moment.
Yeah, we were looking at, when we came off air, first of all, Danny, we were looking, is the Isidore chance now? We'll just look through this one.
Yeah, possibly
offside,
Roberts maybe playing him on, but it's touch and go, isn't it? And then first touch, it's just a fraction behind him, and then it's a nice touch off his thigh, and he catches that one really crisp, but unfortunately just flies past the angle, doesn't trouble the goalkeeper on that occasion. But again, Burnley come on the attack now, driving forward, and it's Foster, this wasn't it? I think Trey Hume just does enough to put him off as he goes to pull the trigger, and it's high and over the top, and strange one for Lyle Foster. As I say, he came into the side, played off the left hand side. He probably prefers to play through the middle. But as I say, he's had a couple of opportunities, but setting off, we didn't really notice him. That one there, Chris Riggy is offside. Mepham sliding the ball through for him, and this is Brownhill, isn't it, trying to thread the ball. I think in general what Anthony Patterson had to do well.
You didn't really see, well. You saw that early save, didn't you, to the right hand side. But other than that, he didn't really have much to do.
No, but just generally his handling was quite good, setting off. A couple of loose kicks in the first half out to this left-hand side by Dennis, but other than that, he had a decent evening, the goalkeeper.
What about this guy, Enzo Lafay?
Yeah, he had a couple of moments. I thought first half he was quiet. I think out on the left is probably not his natural position. He's been asked to play out there this evening. Second half he started really well. He actually looked brighter for sort of 20 minutes in the second half. Lovely turn, wasn't it, which we'll get into and have a look at. This is the big chance now at the start of the second half. Fleming, ball to the far post. It's cushioned for him there. Coming onto it, was he 7 yards out? And then, he's got to hit the target. Listen, a couple of bodies in front of him, the two centre backs.
And then this is possibly a ball of the night.
Ball in, great vision, touch. His first touch isn't actually great there, Wilson. You see it gets away, but then he's on the stretch and he actually catches that quite crisp. But unfortunately, just off the outside of the post, and he should have known at that point it's not going to be his evening. But listen, I think Wilson's the type of character, it'll affect him this evening and he won't sleep well tonight, but I think he's the type of character, by the time Tuesday comes round, he'll have put it behind him and he'll be ready to go again against Derby. This is it, isn't it? You see there, it just gets away from him, but it's a decent strike, keeper's beat, but unfortunately comes off the outside of the post, doesn't it?
Well, while we're watching this, we're going to get Rob Mason to bring in the stat about the penalties. Go on, Rob.
All right, while you're watching,
what you got, Rob?
Frank was just asking me when was the last time we missed 2 penalties in the game by the same player, and it was an occasion when we had 3 penalties in one game. Excuse me, I'm out of breath. Darren Bent took all 3,
really,
and only scored 1 against Spurs. It's the game people probably remember for the brilliant Bolo's ending volley.
Yes.
But yes, look, Wilson Isadore's missed 2 tonight. The goalkeeper saved them, he's not missed the target. The first one definitely wasn't a penalty anyway.
No, it wasn't, no.
So hard lines, but look, as Danny knows, point away from home keeps me happy. And that's it, once the dust settles, that's a good result. We were the better team, nothing to fear.
Yeah. Thank you, Rob. It's always appreciated. Thanks for the stat as well. Yeah, I forgot about that game. Darren Bent.
Yeah, well, that was a half shot really for the penalty. I don't think it was, not enough in it. Here's the first one. Mayenda off the bench, involved straight away. He's onside there, you can see, I think. Just a little clip of the ankles, and you can see there, I think it is just outside. So it's probably not a penalty. Obviously a yellow card. And listen, you're thinking at that point, what was the time when that
was 85 minutes, 86 minutes.
Was it really?
Yeah.
And then you get that one there and you're thinking, here's the big opportunity now. He's had a couple of sort of sighters really in the game. This one he goes laces, doesn't he? Now, the keeper goes early. It's easy to say now, hindsight. I've had a couple of people in here saying, why has he gone the same side? Why is Wilson taking it? If he goes that side for the second one, the keeper goes the other way, nobody's questioning it. Hindsight's a wonderful thing in football. I'd say give him credit, he stepped up to take it.
Well, the same people probably say when Roberts missed his, why wasn't Wilson taking that one?
Yeah, exactly that. Yeah, listen, I draw, which player on the pitch is naturally in that position more often than any other player? Your centre forward. You want your centre forward really to be taking your penalties. Unfortunately, he's gone that way and the keeper's gone the same way twice.
And that was a big chance as well for Mayenda.
Big opportunity. Yeah, so you can see these opportunities. And I thought Burnley,
how close this was.
Last 10 minutes we're looking leggy, to be honest. They made a couple of changes, 3 changes. Obviously, Ashley Barnes come on later on. This one actually, it looks like, you can't really see it from there. It looks like Dennis is on his way down before he catches him. But this one you can see it clearly. Keep your eye on Dennis's right boot.
Left knee, isn't it, of Son?
Yeah, left knee straight into him. And it's a penalty. And he knows straight away. Trying to head it there away. And then this one, he goes with the instep, doesn't he? Just same side. It's always a game of cat and mouse now. Do I go the same way? Are you going to go the same way? Well, he does. I know it's a bit of mind games going on there with Trafford, with the gloves off, and then a bit of cramp, whatever's going on with him, trying to slow it down and get in Wilson's line. You can say it's worked. I think Wilson's going to go that way anyway, regardless. And listen, obviously, it's tough to take, isn't it? 2 penalties within the space of 5 minutes saved, but we get the point and we move on.
We do. And let's see what that point does in the league table this evening. Sunderland and Burnley playing before anyone else in the Championship. So Sunderland move on to 51 points, a point behind Sheffield United. And I just think if we were to have got all 3 points tonight, we would have been sitting where Burnley are tonight.
Exactly, yeah. Again, points as we were really, isn't it? Obviously, Blackburn have got that game in hand on us, but it's what, 9 points on them and a huge goal difference as well. So we're still in a great position. I think Burnley play Leeds next week as well. I think they got Plymouth, then they play Leeds at home as well. So obviously points are going to go one way or the other on that one. So we've got to keep plugging away. Obviously, you'd fancy us at Derby on Tuesday night. and we've got to keep choking the games off now. And worst case is coming up against the sides in and around us. Set your stall out, you start with a point, worst case leave with a point.
Okay, that'll look a lot different in some areas anyway tomorrow afternoon. Let's have a look at some of your thoughts. Look through Leighton. Do you think we should start Mayenda with Isidore? They've got really good chemistry. What do you think about that?
Well, yeah, obviously he's only changed it this evening. Prior to the cup game, they played 2 games together. It looked really good. Obviously they were involved like they were for the first penalty. Mayenda slipped Wilson through against Portsmouth, didn't he, for the goal? And it was there again tonight. I can see why he's changed it. He was concerned about their midfield, so he opted to bring Chris Rigg back in there with Job and Dan Neil as that midfield 3 really, and then brought him on later on. I thought it was crying out for a couple of subs when it was happening. He brought Mayenda on. I thought we were looking a little bit leggy at that stage, and then obviously we took the game and got on the front foot again for the last sort of 10 minutes or so. But yeah, certainly I like it with those 2 up front. They're going to be a handful for any centre-back pairing, any defence at this level, so we may see that again on Tuesday night.
Let's have a look at another thought then, if we can. I think we've got time for another one. This one says, we talk about players needing a rest. How about Wilson? He's definitely our best striker, but was a lot sharper at the beginning of the season, scored some great goals, but seems to have lost a bit recently. Do you agree with that? Watching from Vancouver is Chris Coulson. You've got to go again. You're not going to take him out the side for that, are you?
Hindsight's a wonderful thing.
Yeah,
would he be asking that question if he scored both penalties?
No.
Probably not.
Yeah.
He had a rest on Saturday, didn't he? He's had 12 days rest really from Portsmouth. So he's had his rest. You can see he puts a lot in. He works hard off the ball as well at times, pressing. But no, I'd keep him in there. And then the previous question asked, would I bring Mayenda back in to play alongside him? So I wouldn't be taking him out. I think the worst thing you can do now is probably take him out after those 2 penalties he's missed. He'll want to get him back out there as soon as he can, and can he go and get a goal on Tuesday night, get back on the horse, confidence is back and he's going again. So no, I wouldn't be taking him out.
Well, Tuesday night is when Sunderland go again. It's against Derby County on Tuesday down at Pride Park. 7:45 kick-off for that one means we'll be on air from 7 p.m. and you can get your matchday streaming passes right now around the world at safc.com. Okay then, it hasn't been Sunderland's night in some respects, but they still had a good point on the road this evening. We'll see you soon.